Hey folks, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with AstrologyMojo. Want to help you get your mojo back. Today we're going to be talking about Neptune. So Neptune is, and first of all, planets don't do anything to us. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos so that when you make a move, the planets reflect that via aspects and angles. They only ever represent what you're doing, not doing, feeling, not feeling, challenges, opportunities. Okay. So when I look at Neptune, first of all, it is a planet that guides the sign of Pisces. And the vision, ideal vision, also physical vision as well, ankles, lymphatic system, the fluid in the body, medications, illusion, and addiction as well. Also spirituality and service at the sake of the self sometimes. So when Neptune, which has been in the sign of Pisces, that's a natural placement for 14 years, that's how long pretty much it spends in any one sign. It's now tremendous because this year so many planets are changing houses. They're going to different constellations. They're trying on new wardrobes and feelings. That's what it seems like. And the whole feeling of Neptune being in air from Pisces. Oh, I just want to get lost for a little while. I want to think about it. I want to dream about it. I want to overcome addiction. I want to get redirected. I want to delve into meditation or spirituality. And then Neptune just entered Aries. It's more like, okay, now I want to make those dreams real. I want to jump. I want to get going. How long have I been waiting to live my life? So that's the feeling that we might have because many of us are looking at the world stage and seeing how crazy it looks. So, but whatever reality we see, it's through our own experience. We're never sharing the same reality. We can share communal things like, oh, that is a lovely color and it's blue and it's my favorite color, but your color blue and my color blue are never going to be the same. So we group together and we feel more soothed that we have somebody on our team headed in the same direction or a similar direction. So when Neptune now in Aries is that feeling of a zealot will try to take over, a spiritual concept seeps in, and then you adhere to it and you champion it. That's the Aries energy of getting going. Aries guides Mars, and that represents momentum. What's the action you want to take? What's the spiritual belief system that you have? The religious belief system that you have? Neptune also deals with medication and medicine, vibrational healing. So when this little stint, we're getting a taste of it because Neptune will be in Aries through October 22nd of this year, and then retrograde back into Pisces until January 26th of 2026. And then it'll be there for 14 years, approximately. And so during that time, right now, let's just say between now, we're in April 2025, April through October. What's the thing that you've been wanting to clean out? That belief system, that medication, that, oh, I don't need these herbs anymore for that ailment that I no longer have. Or I'm switching gears. I'm going to start using a homeopathic, naturopathic instead of allopathic. So there's so many changes going on within every single person right now, or there need to be so many changes. And so this is the time where we actually, I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. No, that's not big. Whoops. Okay, that's a little bigger. All right. And so what I find really fascinating, so, okay, let me just back it up a second and come say hello to me. Neptune in Aries, just to get a taste of what that feeling is like inside of you, where you're ready to move forward with something. You're ready to take action on a dream, on the plan that you had to clean out the back of your closet, emotional closet, the way of being, the belief system, setting boundaries, definitely setting boundaries. Neptune is nebulous. It's the possibility. In Aries, it's like, no, that doesn't work for me anymore. Thank you so much, but no. And so boundaries come into play. So between April and October, start to really pay attention to the thing that you want to act on. Where are you inspired to take action? You may not see the actual result right away because we're going to retrograde back into Pisces. Neptune will. It doesn't mean the planet's doing it to you. It means you might say, oh, I need to, I wanted to write a book. I wanted to take a piano lesson. I wanted to move. I wanted to paint the house. I wanted to go into counseling and figure out why I keep attracting addicted people. So whatever the issue is, you're going to start, we hope, applying your spiritual nature to practical application to see that result. And then by the time we get to 2026, it's going to be a whole different story. So little by little, we're going to get there. Here's what I find fascinating, and I'm geeking out over this. See if I can make this even bigger. Okay. Neptune, when a planet in astrology is unaspected, that means there are no angles to any other planet or sun or moon or the nodes. Neptune in Aries right now, yes, it's conjunct within 8 degrees of Mercury. So the thoughts represented by Mercury, the thoughts and the perceptions and the perspective is starting to change because we've entered Aries. But Neptune through April 9th, and then again later on this month, but the 3rd through the 9th, Neptune in Aries is unaspected. That's a powerful position. It is standing out from the crowd and saying, you know what? Yeah, me. I'm going to do this, whatever this is. Or I feel like suddenly I was contacted by angels or ancestors or my team in spirit, or I had a dream and I drew a picture and it turned out to be an actual thing. What is happening? Where am I being guided? So with Neptune in Aries, on aspect, I'm going to show you this. Let me just get rid of the things that have aspects to different planets. Okay, look at that. Nope, that wasn't right. That's not what I wanted to show you. I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, aspects. Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay. As I uncheck the boxes that show you, here is Neptune. And in your chart, wherever Neptune at 0 degrees Aries is entering your chart, your natal chart, it's a placement of showing you what's next. What are you inspired to do next? All right. So we don't have an aspect to the moon. There's no aspect to the sun. There is a conjunction with Venus as well. It's fading, but it's there. So where's your heart's desire? Where do you want to make your money? How do you want to support yourself and others? What's the perception? What's the perspective? Those are different things. Mercury represents communication, but it's not just opening your mouth and talking. It's how you perceive something and how then you act on something. And then that's what we're going to be thinking about. Every single person on this planet between now and October is, how do I want to get it done? And what is it? What is that thing I want to get done? And of course, Venus is still retrograde. And look, Neptune is still not connected to any other planet. It's just hanging out by itself, showing us the power that we have to be an individual on this planet, to make a decision about who we are and how we want to proceed. That's what this is showing us. So let me come back here. Nope, that's not it. There it is. So this is the fascinating thing that I love right now about Neptune in Aries in your chart. Where does it show up? If it shows up in the first house, it's more about healing your individuality, possible releasing childhood trauma, and discovering the arts, music, video, film. Maybe you want to start a YouTube thing, your own podcast. If Neptune in Aries shows up in your second house, you want to get clear about how you're making your money and how you're spending your money. But bigger than that, your self-worth and what you can do to incorporate actions and momentum that equal your self-worth. So any buying or spending, including how you make your cash, is going to show you the next step. What's the next level? With Neptune and Aries moving into the third house in astrology, in your chart, it will deal more with how you perceive something, what you want to learn next, what you would like to teach next, how you might be ready to move into the world and say, I want to start a yoga class. And I'm going to partner with someone, and this is how we're going to do it. And you set up the schedule. So it's the momentum around something that gives you a sense of fulfillment and expansion, and that metaphysical anchor to, all right, I'm going to make it real. My dream is going to come true. Or it could be you're writing a book. Or maybe it's you're communicating differently because your perceptions have changed after you've meditated daily for 6 months already. With Neptune in Aries in the fourth house, that's all about home, family, hearth, and your four walls, who your identity truly is. Could deal with your mother or grandmother or an elder coming to stay. Gaining wisdom in who you are as a person, individually speaking. And also how you would now like to deal with family. Now, it could also deal with the actual structure of the house. Maybe there was a storm and there's a leak. Maybe the pipes. Maybe there's a crack in the roof and it's seeping into the walls. So, it's the structure of you at home. If Neptune in Aries is in your fifth house, we are looking at more of a creative time that becomes practical. It's like Neptune and Pisces in the fifth house is, wouldn't it be wonderful if I could have my own TV show? You're sitting there watching television all day. Or how I can paint a picture. I think maybe I will take an art class, or maybe I'll take a music class, or maybe I want to play more with my kids or my grandkids, or I want to show them and teach them something. So Neptune in the fifth house has that element of being more proactive with family, children, your own projects, and romance too. Maybe you want to get sober and tell your partner, yeah, I'm done. No more smoking cigarettes. And I would like you to quit too. So that's what I mean by the zealot. It's like suddenly Neptune, the nebula, the dreamer, the piety, the belief. It's like, oh, it's okay. Now it's like, no, it's not okay anymore. Yeah, I'm changing and I want you to change too. So Neptune in the fifth house will show you that. Neptune in the sixth house, I almost needed another finger on my right hand, on my left hand, is more about being proactive about health and about lobbying or petitioning for health, especially at work. If you go to an office every day and the chairs are so uncomfortable, they're broken, you're sitting sideways and it doesn't feel good. Now is when you gather up, all the other people in the office and you sign a petition. And that's the lobby part of it. And you want to get going and you want to say, this is not okay. And here's what we can do. Always provide a solution. If you have a gripe and you're focused on the problem, that's never going to work out well. So focus on the solution. We have a couple of ideas of how we can fund this thing, whatever it is, even if you're working as a volunteer or with animals and pets. Neptune is big, especially in the 6th house, with sports, animals, pets, veterinarians, working out at the gym. If the equipment isn't working right, petitioning again, like, how can we fix this, instead of raising our fees or memberships? Neptune in the 7th house now is all about the partnership and how to collaborate without having lost a voice, because it's possible you might have lost your voice in a relationship. And it can be a business partnership, not just a marital partnership or your significant other. It can be the group that you work with. Maybe you have fans, maybe you have coaching clients, and you say, with Neptune in my 7th house now in Aries, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to change it up. I want to do something and prompt them to grow and learn. And that includes all the people that you partner with. And you have to be so aware of, with Neptune in the 7th house, scrutinizing agreements. So if someone says, yeah, I would love to do that, but then they don't, and you've already started and you're waiting, and then you start to carry their weight, that's not going to work. So it has to be a contract that is written, and or if it's with a marital partner, it's an agreement that really shows you how you can work together. So you pull back if they are not moving forward, and then you have the conversation again. And then Neptune in Aries in the 8th house, this is about really cleaning up your credit. Insurance matters, your sexual energy. If you're attracting all kinds of people and you don't want that in your world, you got to clean it up. You have to be discerning. And so the 8th house is also the house of connection to spirituality. So where can you be part of a collaborative experience to make money or to have increased resources for yourself or others? Maybe you work at an accounting firm or for an attorney or at a spiritual center, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, they don't know how to write out a check. What's this about? Let me help. And so, but make sure you have clear boundaries with that. With Neptune and Aries in the 8th house, it's cleaning up the debt, energy debt, financial debt, emotional debt. So going into counseling is really great, or doing estate planning and really understanding that, all right, I need to, get square with the people who are leaving, and maybe I can help them and see them as community service, and appeal to that part of my nature that is compassionate, instead of thinking I can't stand my grandparents, my grandfather, my mother, my uncle, whatever, and how rude they were, how mean they were. Okay, now we're going to have a little more compassion and help them set things up or cut them off. Where before with Neptune and Pisces, you're like, oh, I don't know, it's okay. It's, they're suffering, or it's hard. And then it gets harder on you because you don't know how to say no. So if helping someone to deal with end stage in life, or with financial transactions, or your own insurance matters, or your own spiritual awakening, and you suddenly discover tantric yoga, the boundaries help raise your level of consciousness. Neptune in Aries, 8th house. Neptune in Aries in the 9th house is all about education, travel, yes, but are you traveling to new heights with what you're learning? Are you expressing yourself in a way that you can articulate through the law? Oh, yes, I need a contract. Where before, Neptune and Pisces is like, yeah, I'll shake your hand. Oh, you're so sweet. Of course I could work with you in business. And you never sign a contract. And then they leave. And then what? So the part of you that cries out victim is no longer there, or it's leaving, and it ought to. And so Neptune in Aries in the 9th house is about you getting to understand what contracts are: verbal contracts, emotional contracts, written contracts. what course of study you want to learn or teach so that you can go to the next level, metaphysically speaking. And perhaps it belongs in another country. Maybe you're thinking, I have to travel to Thailand, or I need to go visit, what was just dug up in Turkey. I have to go research this because it's part of my past life heritage. You start to pull in those meanings. It's not karma in the bad way or a good way. There's no such thing. Karma is the action. Dharma, the path. Karma, the action on the path. That's it. No judgment. And no suffering. So the Neptune energy for any house or any person is always, where do I feel like a victim? Where do I feel like, oh, I'll take it on. It's whatever. No. No means no. No doesn't mean I hate you. You're ugly. You're stupid. No means no, thank you. And that's a boundary. Neptune in Aries in the 10th house. Oh, we're going to see some recognition coming your way, some validation for suddenly stepping up, and the crowd parts and you're standing there and they're saying you, and you say me, and they say, yeah, you, we want you. We've been watching you. We've seen your ideas. You're amazing. You're just hiding in the small room with no window. We want to give you a promotion, get you out in the world, move that energy. And if you work as an entrepreneur, this is a wonderful placement to really put the masses on the agenda. Not just what's good for me, but how can we enact a law, deals with ninth house contracts, but also how can we enact a policy, a momentum, a movement that will help everyone else? What can we do? And then suddenly you have a dream, a daydream, a night dream, and it's like, well, I remember hearing that Sting used to, or possibly still does, used to dream and wake up and write the music, and he would dream his songs. So if you have Neptune and Aries transiting in the 10th house, this might be you. Suddenly you have this idea and you're like, should I tell them? He's like, yes. And everybody's nudging you forward. Yes. And then you tell them and they say, oh, we could have had a V8. Well, how come we never thought it? We're paying all these people to consult and we never came up with that answer. Thank you so much. You're on our radar right now. And also with Neptune and Aries in the 10th house, if you're looking for that next level up, go find a mentor who will help you. And that leads us to the 11th house, the house of mentor groups, associations, dreams coming true. And so with Neptune and Aries here, you can certainly attract a lot of people to you, even family members, where you can work out a lot of icky stuff. I talked about that victim voice and that Neptune energy that we all have. I'm not good enough. It'll never work. How come it's never me? I'll never win. I'll never make it. Okay, enough. That's enough. Now it's going to be, I used to go to those kinds of people who would, say yes and smile and then go to steal my ideas and go do it themselves, or they were addicted to something, control or alcohol or drugs or whatever. And I always let them in. Now, boundary out. There's the door. You can go, and bless you for the lesson. So with Neptune and Aries in the 11th house, and that includes family. So if you've got some teens or some wild toddlers, this is a time for you to research the solution that might deal with vibrational healing. Or you might say, suddenly I, was on vacation and someone said, come with me to this crystal store, and they did sound baths and they're ringing bells all over you. And suddenly you had a spiritual experience and you say, I want to take this to a group. I'm going to go back to my life and I'm going to incorporate that daily or weekly, and I'm going to share it with other people. And then you'll start to attract people with the same vibration, which is pretty beautiful. And Neptune and Aries in the 12th house, this is a time to really get straight with your belief system. 12th house deals with psyche. It deals with mental or physical prisons or hospitals. And so if you have been healing something or you need to heal something, anger, passive aggressiveness, addiction, woe is me, depression. And depression is a chemical thing as well as emotional thing. It's the thing that's been suppressed. So when you're able to express it, and find a group. Maybe there's group therapy you can go to, or you start your own group, or you change your diet, you change your attitude, because food is mood. And so any addictions that you have, whether it's sugar or eating crappy food in the morning, not giving your body what it needs, you're going to find that Neptune in Aries for you in the 12th house is that the part of you that says, let's wake up now. How long have we been living like this? Let's do it differently. And then the dreams come through big time. And counseling, yes, or you might be a counselor and you decide I want to incorporate a metaphysical aspect into my psychotherapy practice, or my head is ringing. So downloads or I just love it when the universe cheers in my ear. So if you've got Neptune in Aries in the 12th house, this is a time for you to break ties to the things that you know keep you small. You know, I'm not a math person, but if you can do something that adds to your life, yay. But you will also need to subtract something from your life. Yeah. And it's okay. You might be just like, I'm done. I'm good. Yeah, let's go. That was like speed dating. Okay. So thank you for being here, folks. No matter what happens, we'll talk more about Neptune and Aries as the months progress, especially in October when it's about to go back into retrograde back into Pisces. But for now, just remember that you have the power. It's not the planets doing anything to you. I hit the wrong one. You're the one. I don't know what I'm touching here. You're the one with the power. I just flip sides. Okay, why not? Neptune is a mutable energy. It likes to move around in the nebula and then with clarity. So, whatever you're doing, whatever's happening in your world, just remember to stay present. As always, I wish you peace, and I will see you next time. I'll see you again. Thank you.